The funnest part about starting a rock and roll group is naming the rock and roll group. Nothing is more cool than a cool band with a cool name. But you know what I like even more? A whack band with a lame name. So we're going to be taking a look at some whack band names. Some of them are associated with sick bands, but most of them are associated with cringe bands. Hey ladies, how's it going? Dan Frampton here, and let's take a look at some lame, whack band names. So when I started to make this list of band names, I wanted to do all punk and all hardcore bands. But the problem with that is all hardcore bands have pretty sick names, which is one of the reasons why it's the supreme genre. So I had to dip my toes into the early 2000s metalcore scene to get the creme de la creme, the top crop of cringy band names. But before we get there, I'm going to talk about a couple bands that I like but have awful names, like One Step Closer. I hate that name. Why did you name yourself after a Linkin Park song? And not only just a Linkin Park song, the Linkin Park song. Really stupid. I don't like it at all. When I search One Step Closer, I get only those results. Another sick band with a bad name is Fiddlehead. Do you guys know what fiddleheads are? They're like little green sprouts that grow on the East Coast beaches or whatever, and these guys have named themselves after them. I don't know if that's really a great idea. I think it's a really bad band name. Okay, so let's hit the time machine and let's take a look at the rock and roll musics from band names that are like full sentences. Let's start with like Between the Buried and Me. What are you doing? Between the Buried and Me? A Day and a Death Wish? What's with all these words in your band name? Every Time I Die, After the Burial? Same themes, same idea. They're basically the same band name over and over and over again. Okay, we need like a sentence. How about Abandon All Ships? Yeah, that works. Now one that kind of breaks the mold here is Alpha Wolf, which is cringe on a whole different level. Alpha and Wolf. Let's put these two really strong words together, and then we're gonna be like the most rock and roll rock band that ever rocked ever. We're Alpha Wolf. Alpha Wolf forever, dog. But then back to the full sentences. As blood runs black, the devil wears Prada. Betraying the martyrs, asking Alexandria. And the more of these band names that came out, the more like leaps and stretches they made. Like, where were you when you named the band Everybody Dies in Utah? Like, no they don't. What is that band name? What is Feed Them to the Sharks? I'll tell you what it is, not a good name. One band name that I always hated was From a Second Story Window. From a Second Story Window? Why don't you just call yourself Second Story Window? Why does it have to be a full sentence, early 2000s metalcore bands? For all those sleeping, awful band name. You could like tell a whole story with just these band names. For all those sleeping, I set my friends on fire from a second story window. In dying arms, from autumn to ashes. And then after they ran all those fucking sentences to the ground, what was the natural progression? Put all the words together and claim that I wrestled a bear once. Which is the best name out of all of them, but not a great band. Another one I hate is Upon a Burning Body. It's like not even easy to say. Upon a burning body. After you set your friends on fire, you came upon your burning body. Like I said, you could probably write a whole story out of just these band names. Alright, the last metalcore band name that I want to talk about is We Are Defiance. That sounds like an NXT pay-per-view from the year 2016. NXT TakeOver, We Are Defiance. Really lame, really whack, not a big fan of that. There's this Japanese hardcore punk band called Anti-Feminism. Not a great band name, but they've been around for a hell of a long time. And have you heard of attitude adjustment? Yeah, like John Cena's move, attitude adjustment. When John Cena renamed his finishing move to attitude adjustment, I remember thinking it was the most watered down PG piece of crap lame shit that I've ever heard in my life, and this band name gives me the same feelings. Okay, there's a legendary hardcore band that has a lot of respect in the scene, but I think they have the worst name ever. E-Town Concrete. What is that for a band name? I'll tell you what it is, not one that I want to see on a poster. There is one more hardcore band name that I want to talk about that I hate. They're a legendary hardcore band that everybody regards as pioneers of a certain sector of the genre. But before I talk about that band, I gotta talk about Real Big Fish. What is that pun? Real Big Fish? Like you're reeling in a big fish? That band name is not a good band name. They should have been called Really Big Fish, or Extra Large Fish, or Reeling in Them Big Fishes, boy. Okay, and as promised, the worst worst hardcore band name is Youth of Today. That is an awful band name. Now, they're very influential to the whole youth crew part of the hardcore scene, if not the most influential because it's named after them. But naming your band Youth of Today is the most surefire way to make you and your message dated within 5 years. You're not going to be a youth forever, and it's definitely not going to be today forever, so calling yourself Youth of Today in the 80s and still playing in the 2000s is whack, lame, and stupid. Good band though, I really do appreciate them. Okay, that's going to be about it. I have a bigger Pit Pros on the way, but I want to get out some quicker content for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next upload, watch another upload.